Welcome to But Why, real talk on messy minds and messier systems, the podcast where two psychologists overanalyze everything so you don't have to. We're here to unpack the weird, the worrying, and the wildly unjust with just enough existential dread to keep it interesting. I'm Dr. Kristin.
And I'm Dr. Laura. Let's dive into the mess. Okay, so before we address the elephant in the room, just to say why we're here today, I suppose. So this is the last episode of our holiday series and of the whole year, which is also fun and exciting and sad and scary at the same time. But so far in our kind of holiday series, we've looked at expectations and like the nostalgia and also like the stress and the reality of the holidays. And so in this episode, we're going to chat a bit about the recovery plan for this time of year and kind of what are some things that you guys can do or that we've been thinking about doing to try and make the holidays a bit more sustainable. So last time we kind of did a bit of an intake, if we're thinking about in psychology language. So we talked about stress, patterns, roles. You see Kristin there, like bearded up. Just okay, I'm nearly finished. But today, intervention. What are we going to do? How do we make it more sustainable? Okay. But before that, Kristin, you look amazing today.
Oh, thanks. This is just my normal day today.
You've done a fantastic job at growing such a hefty beard at short notice.
In the span of a week, Jack's just walking outside and just looked in the window, was like, what the fuck? So for listeners, people who are listening and not watching and have no fucking clue what's going on.
You should go and watch because this is hilarious.
Or what the elephant in the room is, according to Laura. Laura, what are you observing right now?
What am I observing? You look like one of Santa's businessman friends at the North Pole. That's what you look like. So what that means is, well, Kristin's in like a sparkly blue snowflakey shirt and tie and waistcoat with a blue Santa's hat and a beard. Mm-hmm. So yeah, one of Santa's businessmen or women or people.
I'm a business elf. We'll go with that.
Business elf.
Fantastic.
Elf. With headphones on top, just to...
Yeah. It's essentially really fun, but it's a sensory nightmare to have a beard and headphones on top of a hat and all this. I'm just going to have to...
Can you even hear?
Yeah, I can actually... Yeah. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to hear anything, but I can actually hear quite well. So that's good. But
very exciting.
I'm gonna have to take off this beard because I don't know how you bearded people do it. It's horrible.
Allowed.
What on earth? Thank you for letting me, Laura.
We'll allow it.
Because if you were like, no, it's not allowed.
Never. We shall not continue the episode.
You are not allowed. So
also,
if you guys remember, sorry, go.
No, you
go.
I was gonna say,
no, you go.
I made my Christmas efforts. Can you see my Christmas efforts?
Oh my god, yeah, I didn't even notice the lights on your chair. I love it. So that's great.
I look how it's such a mess. It's slightly can you see it from behind?
Oh, it's not
slightly like, oh my gosh. It's slightly chaotic.
It's not even just on your chair, it's like everywhere.
Okay. So when I was doing this, do you know that scene in the Santa Claus where like they are, I guess spoilers if you haven't seen it, they're trying to kind of break Scott Calvin or Santa Claus out of jail, and like they have the police officer in the chair and they like wrap him up. I think it's probably tinsel, but they wrap him up, and I felt like that was me with this chair with these lights. I was like wrapping it in like all the lights.
You're the elves with attitude.
I am an elf with attitude in that moment. And then I mean it is a bit of a mess, but that's my Christmas effort. Also, I put on the most Christmassy top I could find.
Let me see. What is it? Oh, look! There you go.
Okay, so it's Christmassy because it's red and green, right? And she's got horns like a reindeer, but her eyes are red instead of her nose. So
it's more like Krampus or Krampus,
will go with,
which is also very festive.
Very festive.
I like
So I'm
it.
feeling very festive today. You know,
Are you
really,
starting to
really
feel
went for
festive
it.
yet?
I think I was like at the weekend. We went out
Mm.
with some friends and did karaoke, which I was in equal parts excited and apprehensive about.
Ooh. Oh, I do not enjoy
Um,
karaoke.
I get nervous about it like before doing it, but
Mm.
then when I'm doing it, I do enjoy it. You know.
I like that for you. It's
Thank
literally
you.
my worst nightmare.
So that
I
made
hate
me
it.
feel Christmassy. But yeah, now just trying to finish off work, I guess, is not as Christmassy. But soon,
Mm.
I feel
So
that Christmas
close.
vibes shall be there.
Yes, definitely.
What about you?
I feel so weird right now in this outfit.
You can take that hat off as well if the hat makes you feel uncomfortable.
But the hat is the main thing, you
Okay.
know?
Well, you're only
Um,
doing it to yourself.
I might be. That's very true. Nobody asked me to do this. I might. The waistcoat might be coming off. Maybe the tie. We'll just see
Oh
how
my
we
goodness.
get
Okay.
on with this
Where will we
episode.
end up?
Where will we end up? Yeah, I'm getting there. I think after I finish today or tomorrow, maybe I'll be able to start to feel a little bit more Christmassy in terms of like work calms down a little bit. Um, but yeah, again, same, like kind of over the weekend, a little bit feeling more Christmassy. It's more just like the stress of getting organized for Christmas getting in the
I
way.
feel
And
that.
then once I feel organized, I think I'll be able to be more festive.
Totally. It's like before like any holiday, like just trying to box everything off and like make everything clean and
Hmm.
like know where everything's at. Remember to reply to everybody or put like a holding email into everyone.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, best of you in the new year. It's like I'm gonna have
Yeah.
so
Like
much to do in the new year.
oh,
Like,
I know. That's what I'm trying to eliminate right now. I just said to Jack, I was like, I'm so tempted to just kind of like take a little bit of a shorter day today. But really, what's going to happen is I'm probably going to end up working till 7 just to make life a little bit easier, like next week or when I come back in January.
yeah, yeah, totally.
Yes.
Fun times. We're feeling the stress. And maybe this segue into our purpose of today.
Our
Of
life purpose or the purpose of today?
That's a
Yeah.
great question. Holiday purpose. Holiday purpose? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Our holiday
Because I
purpose.
guess, because I think we are, like you say, we're definitely feeling the stress of things. Like just around, I guess, the holiday season, but also like the work and like finishing work off that kind of comes along with it and things. So I guess we're gonna let's keep building on the stress side of things because what is an episode without sharing our stresses? But talk a little bit about like how we can try and ensure the holidays are sustainable and maybe even slightly
Hmm.
restful. Who knows? Because I think, at least for me, like I'm always like, oh, it's gonna be a break and I'm gonna be so relaxed. I'm gonna have a great time, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm so tired. Like, get me back to
Oh
my
no.
routine. Get me back to work. Like sometimes I feel like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're gonna chat a little bit about sustainability and how we can kind of um how we can manage or be aware of the stuff that we like spoke about last time. So I guess for like us, it's like the masking, it's sensory overload, it's maybe some of like gendered labor stuff, guilt, expectations, comparison. For some people, like grief and loss. So all of those things we spoke about like last time. So we wanted to talk about that because often like there's a lot of advice around the holidays which just kind of skips to like self-care and what you can do to like help yourself
Hmm.
rather than necessarily like acknowledging, I guess, the systems that we live in and society and all of that which puts on
Society.
Christmas. Society. Oh my goodness, always makes me think of Into the Wild. Have you seen Into the Wild?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, you'd love it. He leaves society. I'll leave it at that. It's fantastic. Anyway,
Amazing.
not
Awesome.
really a Christmas. There is snow in the film, but I would not say it's a Christmas film.
It's not a
Quite
Christmas
it's
film.
quite
Okay.
depressing, actually. So any
Surprise.
whoozes. So So this episode, we're not fixing Christmas. I don't think Christmas necessarily needs to be fixed, but we're just kind of trying to figure out how we can make the holidays or Christmas or kind of whatever you are celebrating or not celebrating kind of this time of year more survivable and better for us, I guess. So, Kristin,
Hello.
what's like a sustainable holiday to you? Like, what does that mean if we're talking about like sustainable holidays?
That has changed for me so much because I never even used to think about sustainability, and I don't know if it's because it was tied so much to my masking. But I never even thought about capacity and making it sustainable. I would only just get really, really stressed, or like, or like, just like do my best and then see what happens, and might even like look at recovering in January rather than over the holidays.
Yes.
But like now, and this might relate to you as your first year trying to actually think about it and integrate it after your autism diagnosis. For me, it's boundaries and
Boundaries.
obviously like really looking at days off. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that means
is a day off. Oh yeah, go on.
yeah. For me, that's like an active scheduling. So I do work with Jack now to figure out, okay, well, we want to see people leading up to the holidays, but we can't have every single day. And like I hate that feeling of like drinking multiple days in a row as well. Yes. And you can't do it with work anyway, right? But like you always like there's always like, oh, we got to see somebody on this Monday or this Thursday, and like socially sustainable and cognitively sustainable and all that. And then, so my kind of workaround is, okay, I will do that to a certain extent, but then my break between Christmas Day, which is when I see all like family and stuff like that, but to New Year's Day, I will not see a single soul. And so I allow myself that time. Aside from Jack, but I don't think he counts in this context because I'm stuck with him anyway. He's always going to be there.
You're just accepted. So, he's there. It's okay.
He's just there. He's there. He knows. And so like, and so we've kind of built that in over the years as like our sustainable way where he gets to, you know, go out and see loads of people and all that. Okay. And I'll come when and if I want to. Okay, nice. And can. And then for me, the rest is just looking like rotting on my couch, reading or watching TV or playing video games for like 6 days.
Oh, that sounds ideal. I would love that for sure. And I think, well, we're going to talk a bit around a couple of things you mentioned, like the boundaries. Also, like this idea of like energy, like mapping and like knowing your energy levels and how they like fluctuate based on certain events or contexts or scenarios or whatever, which I think I'm so bad at, but maybe you can help me. But I think as well,
I doubt it because we both have very poor interoception.
No, I really wanted you to help. Who's gonna help me map my energy? But I think that I think for me, something that often like gets in the way of, and I probably even haven't thought about it that much before, but I think something that gets in the way of the holidays being more sustainable is like, maybe this is slightly the ADHD sort of conflict, is like, I feel like I constantly need to be going and doing something, but then that just completely tires and burns me out. And I think for me, there's actually a lot of, in like a sustainable like holidays, around like accepting that it's not going to be perfect. And I think this is for like any holiday I go on, whether it's like a summer holiday, somewhere nice and hot, or somewhere abroad, or whatever it might be. I think that sometimes I will struggle to just accept that it's not going to be like that perfect like break that you've kind of made it out to be in your mind. Like there are going to be things that are uncomfortable and that aren't going to be great, and so on. And I think that's what can be hard, is like the build up to Christmas or the holidays like we've spoken about, and then actually you get to it and it's like, oh no, like why can't I be who I wanted to be right now? So I think for me it's a lot around that, accepting it for just what it is, and also kind of being more aware, I think, of my capacity, which I don't think I totally get yet. But I
I
think
think that's the most. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to
no, you
interrupt you.
go.
That's like the biggest thing. That was the biggest change for me over the last couple of years
Yeah.
of like learning what my capacity actually is versus what I thought it was or wanted it to be. And a
Yeah.
lot of that involved like teaching myself to be a little bit more intuitive.
How did you do that?
Laura, I've been trying to tell you to do this for like 3 years.
Okay, can you tell me
Like,
again, please?
so,
Thank you.
so this is a good time of year to try and do it if you can, because you're off of work. And
Oh.
so it's literally just, it's so simple. And it's very useful for everyone to try and get back in touch, whether it's with your identity, with your nervous system, with your capacity, things like that. And it's literally just going when you have less demands on you. So, for example, the first time I did this, I took 2 weeks off in August and didn't do shit, didn't do anything
Oh,
because
but
no, wait, it was very difficult. It was very difficult because the first day I had off, guess what I did?
stuff.
Yeah, I made a list of all the stuff I could now do because I had 2 weeks of not working. And I'm like, oh, need to do this to the lawn. I need to organize this room. And I'm like, no. So
The
the
lawn
the
is
guiding
important.
principle, yeah, it is. But the guiding principle of that break was to do what I wanted to if I felt like it, not what I don't have time to do at other times. So, for example, I did another break like that this August, and I was like, I will paint my office if I feel like it. I'm not going to do it as a demand, as a task. And on one day, I was like, yeah, I just feel like doing it. But like also, if I felt like going in and reading for a few hours, I would just do that. And it was really weird to almost disincorporate that performance mindset of you always have to be doing something that the systems do put on us. And that
Yeah.
really helps me like taking breaks like that. But that first made me realize how outcome oriented I am as a person or like have been socialized to
Yes.
be and how awkward it feels internally and the guilt that comes with not doing something you're supposed to in heavy quotes.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why the holidays can be a nice time to try and lean into that a little bit more if you have that social break and you're not working.
I also think it can be almost easier to do it when I'm not at home. So, like, I'll be
Mm,
spending the holidays at my parents' house, at least for like a week. And I think that that kind of helps me in some of the kind of getting away from the tasks and the lists and the outcome and stuff, because I'm like, if I'm at home, it's like I know that I don't know, this thing needs tidying up, or like I need to do the laundry, or like I could reorganize a drawer. Oh my God.
hmm.
Um so I think when
But
I'm
that's part of the intervention, though. That's part of it is
organizing
like
drawers.
rec is ignoring that.
Oh, I so yeah, I think it's like you said though, I think it's ignoring it sometimes, but recognizing when actually you're like you say, you're like, yeah, I want to organize that drawer. Because I think sometimes
Hmm.
that makes a but this is what I find difficult, right? Is that am I doing a thing because I want to, or am I doing a thing because it's going to make me feel better, right? So am I
Hmm.
organizing that drawer because I want to organize the drawer, or am I doing it because that drawer is making me feel anxious and I'm organizing it as a means of making myself feel better?
Hmm.
And is that right or wrong? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like it depends on your aim, just like kind of any intervention we're designing.
Yeah.
If the intention is, okay, let's get more intuitive and try to work on that specifically, then it's go with what you have desire and capacity to do. Because sometimes you just
Mm.
get in a mood to organize stuff.
Oh
And
my
you're
goodness,
like, I
yes.
just feel like cleaning my
I just
room.
need to
And
pull everything out of the cupboards,
yeah.
throw everything on the floor,
Hmm.
make a complete mess, and then cry about it for a while.
And then sometimes, but like sometimes you're like, yeah, I just want, that's what I want to do right now. Whereas then
Yeah.
other times it's like, just this drawer is really bugging me and it annoys me every time I open it. So maybe I'll feel a bit better if I clean it. But there are
Yes.
so many elements of life that aren't perfectly organized that if you apply that to everything in your house, everything at work, everything, that you have to do with, then you're going to be exhausted. So
Yeah.
if you're looking at recognize intuitive, like being more intuitive and recognizing capacity, then I would say the latter one you mentioned. So like, oh, it'll make me feel better in the end, so I should do it, maybe isn't the right way to go.
No, I don't think so necessarily. Yeah. It's hard because I think sometimes that's okay, sometimes it isn't. I think for
Yeah.
me, like something I want to try and do, and I don't know if this is a boundary thing. I don't think it is a boundary thing, but I think it's more like around the idea of like intuition and like listening to my body is just having more
Mm,
quiet time where I'm not like in front of a screen, not like playing a video game or watching TV or on my phone. Like I'm literally just sat like lying down, like scanning my body, seeing what's going on, like maybe listening to some music or something. So almost having that time to properly check in. And it might literally be like a minute or 2 minutes, then that might kind of build over time. But I've been trying to do that a little bit more recently, and I think it does help me to then decide what I need next. Do you know what I mean? I think
mm-hmm.
sometimes for me, like especially around the holidays where there's like so much going on, it's like you don't even have time to like stop and think, what do I
Mm,
actually need right now? Like, am I just going along with all this because it's what everybody else is doing? And I always really struggle to like put in pauses and breaks. But I think that for me is something I'm going to try and like purposefully do a bit more.
mm.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think like if you're still feeling not intuitive with that kind of stuff, then that's the other thing I was gonna say is actively putting in those boundaries and those breaks beforehand is super helpful.
Totally. Totally. And I think we spoke about this a bit like in the last episode. So this idea of like um building the boundaries or clarifying our boundaries like before the day
Mm-hmm.
or the however many days you consider, I guess, like the holidays, like um can we give ourselves like permission ahead of time and
Mm-hmm.
have things set that we know we're going to do even if we feel fine. I think that's sometimes I think that's one of my challenges is like I'll wait until it goes so far that I feel rubbish that going and
Yeah.
pausing and lying down in a dark room is going to take so much longer to bring me back around.
Mm-hmm.
um so I think it's like being purposeful, not waiting for the fire.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's almost like having that plan like we were talking about last time. And it almost like gives you permission to do the things to keep you on
Yes.
track to enjoy because like you said, those little breaks are what will make it more enjoyable. Because the whole point, hopefully, the holidays is to try and enjoy yourself at least a little bit in some capacity.
Hmm.
So like giving yourself the permission through creating like some kind of action plan or boundaries or like even like emergency plan if you're not feeling great, just
Mm.
it makes everything else more doable.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I think also like vocalizing that to other people, like, oh, by the way, I'm going to do this
Mm,
thing. Or, oh, actually, when we're socializing, I might take myself off for a few minutes or for 5 minutes here and there, just so you know. Um, and
mm-hmm.
like be clear about it so that when we do it, it doesn't feel like it's a weird, strange thing that's happening. Like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
like, I always think, oh, people are going to think that I don't like them or I don't want to like be with them, and I'm like, just give me like 5 minutes, you know. So I think as well, like if you feel comfortable to like talking to people around you about what your boundaries are, maybe that feels woke, maybe that is woke, but there you go.
Woke is good.
Woke is great.
Woke is literally just means being awake to the systems that impact us negatively.
Ooh, awake to the. Let's
Um,
all be awake to the systems this Christmas. Yeah, there you
and
go.
I think also we know the research says no one's thinking about you as much as you're thinking about you. So if you take 5 minutes away, no one's even gonna probably notice.
Do you
Like,
think?
and no one's
I
this is the
always
research
feel like
confirms
people
this.
will notice. Maybe it's more like my parents. Like I feel like my parents might be like, "Are you okay? Like, is everything all right?" Like
Mm,
in like a nice way, but like
yeah.
also like, "Yes, thank you, just being alone."
You're like, stop perceiving me. I'm not even there and you're perceiving me.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, you're totally right. I think in most scenarios, that's kind of not the case. Um,
Hmm.
so I think it is, yeah, like thinking about what permission do we want to give ourselves ahead of time. Like, is there something, Kristen, that like a permission you want to give yourself this year that you haven't in previous years?
I don't know. I think if I give myself any more boundaries, I'm just gonna not do anything. So
Okay,
I've like the last 2 years
what's your most important, I guess, boundary then, just around the
just
holidays?
truly taking that break. Like whether it's work or socializing or responsibility, truly taking that kind of week-long break of the like
Mm.
Christmas and New Year to have zero responsibilities other than the things I literally need to do to keep myself and the animals alive.
Oh, okay,
And
yes.
it's like it's just to reset and be human because it's not really human to kind of live in the societies that we do despite humans evolving them and creating them.
Humans.
And so a huge boundary for me is literally just protecting that time. It's protecting time for me more than anything like that because
Yeah.
it's because I want to be able to enjoy the holidays. So, but if I don't know that I have protected time after to recover from that, then I will really struggle. So, for example, it's always going to be really busy in the couple weeks leading up to Christmas. You're going to be seeing loads of people, you're going to be getting loads of stuff, you're finalizing work, there's a lot. And it allows me to enjoy, say, like Monday night, I went to United and was able to enjoy it because I know in a week and a half, even though I've got like 2, 3 more like social events, but even before Christmas, I'll have some time to decompress. Whereas I've had years before where I had that busy time and then actually either had people come to stay for New Year's instead of
Mm.
like, so they were coming on like the 29th, or like last year we left for a wedding and for Colorado on
Yes.
like the 28th or 29th of December. And so there wasn't really any time to recover. And it sucks because I really enjoyed going to the wedding in Colorado, but I never got that time to recover from the initial difficult bit. So for me, the biggest
Yes.
boundary is time protection.
Yes, totally. And I think that that links into kind of this idea of designing holidays around like our energy rather than
Mm,
expectations. And I think this is so hard because it's like you said, like
yeah.
there's a lot of these, like say the social events or the cool things that like you'll be doing this time of year. It's not that like I don't want to do them. Like I want to do
Hmm.
it. I just know that it's gonna spend a lot in terms of
Yeah.
energy, like pre
Hmm.
and post thing. And I think that I still don't quite understand like the I don't know, almost like the
The
process.
balance.
Yeah, the balance, like how the energy gets spent, like when I feel when I feel the difference from the energy being spent and for how long for. So like
Mm.
so the social thing we did on at the weekend, that I still feel like today I'm still paying for that. Like I can still feel I'm a bit
Mm.
like I feel a little bit more down, like struggling to motivate myself to do things more. And I'm like, I swear, like previously, I would just be like, social event, like give me a day and I'll be fine. Whereas now, I feel like it takes me way longer to just get back to like a baseline level in terms of like cognitively and emotionally.
I
Yeah.
think that's something that is supernatural that happens as we're getting older and accumulate more responsibilities because like when we were super young in our like 20s, the holidays was just about
Peak
let's go out with our
health.
friends, let's go, like we're gonna see our family, we're gonna do presents, we're probably in
Yes.
just like way less stressful jobs with much less responsibilities.
Yeah.
You and I don't have didn't have like 10 billion projects that we were doing outside of our work, like a book and a podcast.
Don't remind me, I'm trying to forget about it.
And I think like it's compounds it. So whether you're neurodivergent or not, but this is one of the reasons that undiagnosed neurodivergent women have a burnout in their mid 30s, and a lot of them a little bit sooner if they're having kids, is because the like, I don't really like the spoon theory of autism, but just for lack of a better way of explaining it, of like,
I quite
so
I feel the spoon's quite relatable.
I like it. It's just not nuanced enough for me. So, but I think because I think different spoons carry different weight. Do you know what I mean? So, but if we're looking at like,
Not
have
every spoon is made equal.
no, and that is true in real life as well, because some spoons are horrible.
So true.
Jack went to go get me my ice cream last night, and he was like, "So which spoon is it for ice cream? It's different than soup, right?" I'm like, "Of course, of course."
Obviously. Oh my God.
Obviously. What a crazy question, but also thank you.
Yeah, true. It's very considerate of Jack.
Yeah. So the idea of spoon theory, if you guys don't know, is like, say we're all given 10 spoons of capacity for the day, or the month. And some days you might need to use 15 or 20 spoons. And so that depletes you for the next several days of your spoons and things like that. So now there's more stuff to take away our spoons, essentially, because we have more stressors.
Oh, yeah, that makes so much sense, but I'd never thought about it like that before. Yeah, you're so right.
So instead of like in your 20s, when like the things to take away your spoons were probably some socializing, maybe some work, but like now it's you know, a million projects, work, like more responsibilities, also more responsibilities during the holidays themselves. It just life in general, you know what I mean? Everything's more expensive. The world's a shit show a little bit. There's just more things. The older, just a little bit, you know. The older you get, for a certain amount of time, the more there is to take spoons off you, and the harder it is to recover those spoons. And so I think that's why, you know, especially having kids, you know what I mean? Because you can't prioritize your spoons as much. You have to prioritize the kids to like look after them and stuff like that.
Their spoons.
So they are their own spoons. No, that's not what I meant. No. They have their own spoons.
Yes, they are also a spoon. Anyway, wait.
I feel like this episode is gonna be so random in the end. But yeah, I think that's why. So I feel like Christmas tends to lose a little magic for people as they get older. But also, this is one of the reasons why, is because we have less capacity. We have less, like, spoons, essentially.
Spoons. Yes, totally. And I think as well, like, I think that's helpful because I think I often think, I don't know, I think when I categorize things I'm doing in life, it's kind of like social stuff, family stuff, work stuff. But actually, if you dive into those things separately, there's so much more like going on than that. Like if we dove into work stuff, like you say, there's a million different things that we're doing which are taking up like a hell of a lot of spoons. Whereas if I think about maybe what work looked like, I don't know, 5 years ago, there was so much less, like in terms of say projects or just people I worked with, or just different roles and responsibilities for sure. So I can see how, especially with work, how that now takes loads of spoons. Even though I love it and enjoy it, it takes a lot. And
well, that's a key component, is just because you love the thing doesn't mean it's not going to take your spoons. Yeah. So like, for example, I hang out with friends. Like I really enjoyed going to United on Monday night, and I had a really good time and had fun. Yeah. And but then you just feel off after it, and it's hard to explain to people. It's not because I didn't enjoy myself or I didn't like going. It's just because it took spoons from me. I didn't gain energy. It's my spoons. Give me my spoons back.
Yeah. Interesting. So I think that I I think that I'm not very good at the pre-planning, if you like, of my energy and spoons, which I think is something that it sounds like you have gotten quite good at doing, is like looking ahead and thinking, okay, like where do I need gaps or where do I need space? And I think sometimes that's something I still struggle with. And it is like, oh, I can do that thing, that's totally fine. And I can do the thing, but I struggle to accept that afterwards I'm not just gonna like come straight back and be full energy and fabulous all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Firstly,
And
how many times have I said to you, Laura, just because you can doesn't mean you should?
I don't think I've ever heard you say that. I didn't process that information, so
Yeah.
didn't exist.
Selective processing.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's like a big thing for me, I think, over the holidays, is being okay saying no to certain things and trying to predict a little bit, like trying to think ahead rather than just being, because I do like to be in the moment and just be like, yeah, let's do that, let's do this. But I think sometimes that's like the death of me. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
definitely.
sure, I can do that thing, I can go to that place, and it's like, oh no, why did I say I would
Why
do
did I
that?
agree to this?
Oh god. But I think of this a lot as well, like around like New Year's, because I'm not really like a New Year kind of person. Like I enjoy it, like when we do some like social things, but I'm never particularly looking forward to it, and it always feels like a lot of effort. um I'm almost in my head, I'm like, can I just not do New Year like this year? But again, it's like what's socially acceptable versus what you, yeah, actually want to do.
Yeah, yeah. It's, I mean, a lot of what we're given in terms of what we're meant to be doing over the holidays is a social expectation that we often just don't question because we don't with most social expectations, unless you come into like our crazy world, which now that's all we do is like, oh, there's a social expectation. Let's examine that,
Yes.
Yeah, I get that about New Year's though. I used to like try and big it up as some fun like night out with friends, or I used to try and like host. I do really enjoy hosting
I prefer
parties,
having
like
it
house
at
parties.
ours. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. But then I like, because I take everything so seriously, like if I'm gonna host a New Year's party, I'm gonna host the best New Year's party ever. It's gonna be it's gonna be like a murder mystery and everyone's gonna have to dress up and I'm
Oh
gonna have to
my
have this whole thing
goodness.
planned out. Yeah, I have a problem with overcommitment, as you can tell by my outfit. This is the outfit I wore for this year's Christmas elf delivery, the Christmas stocking video.
Yes.
As per last episode that we talked about, the only thing I haven't used is this
Oh,
fake pipe.
yes.
Yes. So
Love
yeah,
it.
so I've just, one of my boundaries is now is like, okay, I can either host Christmas or I can host New Year's.
Yeah.
I can do one of those. I actually can't even do both. I have to do one.
Okay. Yeah. Are you hosting Christmas this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And another one of my boundaries is I like everything done my way. So I'm not having
Yes.
people bring anything. Does that surprise you?
No.
I will be doing all the cooking. I will have sous chefs helping with certain things, but it needs to be done just right.
It's very exciting. I'm excited for you, but also slightly stressed for you as well.
I'm stressed for me too. I'm
Yeah.
trying to enjoy it as much as possible.
Yeah. I'm glad you have some sous chefs. Sous chefs, they're like additional spoons, do you think? Or do they
They
take your
are.
spoons or do they take the spoons away if they do something wrong?
It depends.
Slightly
I can give you a
volatile.
really good example of Christmas, because trying to keep this focused on Christmas, a Christmas-based example. So a couple of years ago, having family over to like my family, and obviously my family is where I get a lot of my recipes from. Excuse me. And so I could say, hey, can you chop these potatoes or blah, blah, blah. And I know they're going to do it the right way, and I don't have to explain it more than that. It depends on how much cognitive labor you have to put into it. So if some person who I have no idea how much like experience they have cooking, or maybe I don't trust their
Yes.
cooking skills, or
Or
maybe
like,
I
do
think they're
you
kind of
cut
an
the
idiot.
carrots into circles or
Yeah. Or the
battens?
long way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Batons.
Oh yeah. Batten. Battens.
um yeah, so I think if it adds or takes away a spoon is also a nuanced thing because it
Yes.
involves the cognitive labor.
Is the mash mashed properly? Mm.
Ooh, no one's mashing the mash besides me because I have a very I like a creamy mashed potato. My mashed
Yes.
potatoes, this is a point of pride for me, made
Oh
Jack's
my gosh.
grandpa, who's from Yorkshire, cry one year because they made him think of his home.
Oh my god. I
He
need
was
to
like a
try
really
your mashed potatoes.
oh, they're so good.
That
Maybe if you
sounds
come
amazing. Oh my god, if I
for
come
a
in the new
research day,
year, can we
yeah, I'll
just
make
eat mashed
potatoes.
potatoes? Oh my god.
Yes, and gravy and all that great stuff.
That's it. That's all you
Yeah,
need.
that's
Mash and
I would
gravy. That's it.
literally be so happy just to eat mashed potatoes forever.
Yeah.
Well, I need more cheese than that.
Oh
Yeah.
no, you know what? I am not a cheesy mash kind of fan.
Oh
I don't
no, I
mind.
just was saying I can't only have mashed potatoes. I would also have to at some point in my life have cheese.
Oh, I see, not altogether. That's okay. That's fine. Some people do enjoy a cheesy mash.
I can see why there would be value, but not for Christmas ones.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree. So one of the things we wanted to pick up on from last time was we kind of spoke around like the stress and like gendered expectations around
Hmm.
the holidays, and I thought it might be kind of useful to talk about, like, I guess for people who are listening who might be within households or kind of with friends and or family where they see these like gender differences and gender like expectations. How do we, I guess, one, notice, and two, like do something about it to try and create change?
I think that's so hard because you don't want to like ruin the vibe over the holidays,
You
right?
sure? You sure?
Well,
No, joking.
I'm speaking more generally,
Yeah, no.
not necessarily. I really don't mind ruining the vibe. I love walking into a room and being like, "Hey guys, what are you all doing in here?" Or like just doing something awkward to disturb the kind of status quo, which I know is like
Okay.
now know is super autistic as well. Just like first before I even knew that this is what I was doing, it was like yeah, it was just like awkward timing and just like not understanding the social dynamic that was at
Mm,
play. But I find it really hard because like firstly, we've all been socialized to do these things and most people won't notice them. And so the when if you're the person pointing it out on Christmas, you become the
mm.
asshole and that adds
Yes.
emotional labor to you and
Yes.
also can create tension that wasn't there and it can I don't know, everyone could be mad at you. Do you know what I mean? Like even the women could be like, we just enjoy doing this on our own. We don't want them in
Yes,
here.
it's
Like,
so true. And I think as well, it can almost be, it's like, in a sense, like wrapped in tradition. Do you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
no, this isn't something bad and like gendered or whatever. This is just what we do. Like, this is like a traditional holiday thing that happens. Like, we've done it the same every year. So you're totally right. Like literally everybody could get like pissed off if you're trying
Mm-hmm.
to shake that up and bring up a lot of that cognitive dissonance, I guess.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what it will do is like, do you want your Christmas day to be filled with people's defensiveness? But check out our defensiveness episode if you want more
Woohoo!
information on this because like it will because it's such an ingrained aspect of our society, it will bring up a ton of
Mm,
cognitive dissonance and defensiveness likely. And but that doesn't mean it has to stay that way. So I feel like it depends on your environments. So if you're
yeah.
somewhere that's quite like psychologically, psychosocially safe, saying like, isn't it weird that they're all in there like cooking and chatting and dancing and you guys are all in here just like silent and not talking to each other? Like that's kind of weird,
Mm,
isn't it? I know mom likes football. Why isn't she in here watching the football with you guys? You know, stuff like that. Just
mm,
pointing that out. Like yeah, on Monday when I was at United, somebody was pointing out like it's like hard to know if people are joking, but like the mom does all the cooking because she's like me. She likes it the way she likes it. She was explaining that.
Yes.
But then all the guys go to the pub together and that's their little tradition. And you know what? That's fine to a certain extent because that's what she likes to do. But then somebody was like, oh, is the, I'm not going to say the name, is she invited? Or like, oh, does she not come to the pub? And he goes, oh, well, no, she's not invited. She's a woman. You should have seen like so many people in the room looked at me and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything in this moment because everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like,
Totally.
it can be really, they're boomers as well. So it can be kind of like, I'm not going to change any minds, but at least everyone else in the room knew that was wrong. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to shit on anyone's Christmas tradition.
Yeah. It's funny if like say Matt's like going out with the guys or something and I'm like, oh, can I come as well? It's always this interesting sort of like, oh yeah, like of course you can, like if you want, but it's kind of like with the guys, and I'm like, okay, I can see that you're trying to like include me, but also maybe that maybe it just isn't like the right time to and I also don't think I would necessarily enjoy it that much anyway.
Well, I think there's a difference between like just all the men doing something because they're all men and going to see a group of friends that is a specific group of friends and they just all end up being guys. That's a very different story.
Yeah, true.
Whereas like the story I'm talking about, it's like all the men from the neighborhood would just like leave their houses and meet at the pub.
Oh, just leave all of the women alone to like
yeah.
But maybe they are glad for it.
Yeah. It's just like it's hard because it's so dress and tradition, like you say. But if it is something that it negatively impacts like your family, or at least just pointing it out is sometimes like, or even beforehand, if you do want to like seriously approach family members about this is something you should be doing before Christmas Day or before your holiday day, and saying like, hey, the last few years I've noticed this. It like might be better because we're family, we don't get to see each other that much throughout the year. It'd be nice to actually spend these 4, 5, 6 hours you spend in the kitchen hanging out together. So maybe come in and help us chop stuff. We can listen to music and together, or just try and integrate things a little bit more. I think that should be done before it. Like again, it comes down to intent. Like intent is so important.
And I think we're kind of, I guess, is it probably not lucky, but we have quite a nice like Christmas Eve tradition where everybody is in the kitchen and like everyone takes like a different vegetable to chop or peel or whatever, or sets the table. So like everybody mucks in on Christmas Eve, which is always nice. But then the stress is really more on Christmas Day. But I like that idea of like talking about it beforehand. Like, if you guys notice that this usually seems to happen, or we usually get pissed off with each other about this, like,
well, it's like, yeah, exactly. But it's the same thing as like pre-planning your boundaries. It's like if you can already like protect the day for joy and fun and togetherness by like, because what ends up happening if you don't do that is these frustrations are going to come out in some way, shape, or form on Christmas Day when everyone's been drinking, you've been around each other for hours on end. They're like we talked about in the first episode, there's a mix of emotions going on that day. So it's better to just get it out of the way.
Totally. And I also like this idea around like the idea that helping out isn't the same as like having a shared responsibility for something.
Oh, do not get me started on this.
I want to get you started. Go on.
I've literally been thinking about this. Like, people say, and it's often very gendered, right? Is like, oh, do you like, it happens a lot to parents who are men, right? It's like, oh, he's so good at helping with diapers. Well, no, that's his child. He's not helping with diapers. He also has a responsibility to change diapers or like feed or whatever. And so that's the same thing as like, it really does. The helper is somebody who's being told what and when to do things. They're not like part of the project. Whereas a shared responsibility for putting like a amazing meal on the table for everyone is a shared responsibility that should involve like relatively equitable cognitive and emotional labor. And this is something I see a lot in the Christmas meals is women end up doing all the side dishes, which take so much time and energy. Like there's so much prep because you're thinly slicing potatoes or carrots and you're like mixing, you're like doing stuffing and, you know, stuffing, like doing parsnip, like you're literally in there for 6 hours, where a lot of the time the men do the meat, which is firstly the feature usually of the dinner, whether it's
Mm.
like a turkey or steak. And so that's the main thing. And
Oh,
it usually
interesting.
takes significantly less time and planning because when you're doing all the side dishes, you've got to plan, okay, this one takes 25, this one takes 20, this one takes 15. I have to have this one at this time. I have to like shuffle things around the oven. Like it
Mm.
takes a lot of labor and organizing. Whereas like
Oh,
you're
the like
like,
oven shuffling is like a skill to behold that
mm,
I don't have. My mum has that skill for sure.
you should
And
see my
she
lists.
does
I
burn
have
hers. She
lists.
burns herself a lot, but
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that's inevitable. That's
yeah.
inevitable.
Oh,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I think as well they're like that. They're around the like helping and shared responsibility kind of piece. I think like sometimes I even have to say like what will like clarify to Matt. I'll be like, um, I know that you're telling me right now that like you want to help, but I'm like, I just don't even want to think about this thing. Like, take it out of my
Yeah.
brain. You
That
just
could,
tell
yeah.
me you're dealing with that, and like I don't have to think about it anymore. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah,
I was just gonna say, like sometimes it's not helping if you have to explain the thing. So for
yeah.
example, like if you I actually used this example recently for somebody I was trying to explain this to. Say you like you're used to getting all the main groceries for the house. So like the you know, condiments like a hot sauce or a ketchup or whatever, the
Hmm.
laundry detergent, just, you know, just like the standard things that aren't like what we're doing for dinner tonight. It's like not necessarily helpful to say, I'll help you with groceries, but really you still have all that, like, okay, keeping track of how much of certain things we have.
Oh
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yes,
It's
I
like a
totally
very
get
different
you.
approach. It's like it's not the shared responsibility of groceries. And it's like it's
Yeah.
only so helpful in heavy quotes
Mm.
if it's not a shared responsibility and you have to. And then there's the like even worse one when it's like, okay, well, I'll do dinner and I'll get the groceries for it. What do we need? And you're just like, that is the opposite of helpful.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like that's
Yeah.
that's the cognitive labor that takes a lot of work to like just organize, check what how much we have of everything. Like, do we need, you know, chicken? Do we need whatever? Like, no, if you're
So
gonna be in
true.
charge of cooking and getting dinner, don't put that little bit on your partner.
Totally. You know what? I even think though for like myself, like at Christmas at home, I could totally help more like with those sorts of things, especially because I kind of like go home and it's just like, ah, almost like everything's just sorted and nice, rather than me actually thinking, oh, actually, does someone need me to help with something or could I get something or bring something? We do tend to have a list and we'll sometimes like distribute
Mm,
the list. But then, like you say, like who's making the list or who's checking everything in the house and seeing what we have to start with and things like that.
mm.
So I could definitely like help more with certain things. But yeah,
And it's just also
fun.
thinking about like, you know, how much you want to do that. I mean, some families are very happy to have some people just chilling and the others, you
I'm
know,
just
there's different
here. Yeah.
there's just personality types. So it's not like we need to get all intense
Yeah.
all the time about it. It's just kind of really like taking like a the layout of your own system, I suppose.
Yeah, so true. So true. So we want to, I guess, close up this series a little bit and just think about, I guess, for us, like what we're going to take away and kind of take from this. But I guess as a bit of a just summary of what we've been through in this series, we kind of started with like the longing or like the nostalgia for the holidays, like the reality and the stress. And then today, kind of talking a bit around how do we plan and prepare and perhaps like recover or like design a holiday that's actually going to be sustainable and kind of the different elements that come into that. So to finish, Kristen, is there like one thing that you're going to take away from either like this series as a whole or from the episode today that you're going to like think about as you move through the
You know what
holiday
this kind of made me
period?
think about or like recognize is how intense I've been about setting boundaries the last couple of years.
Mm.
This might be the first year where I'm going, okay, I've focused on boundaries and that has helped me a lot. Maybe this year I keep implementing those, but like I try to focus on the joy aspect and not the boundary aspect because I feel
Ooh.
like I might have been like very much feeling on the defensive the last couple of years because was trying to literally climb out of autistic burnout and really kind of like really struggling over the holidays the last couple of years, probably like more like 3+ years.
Mm.
Um, just from spoons or lack thereof. But I've
Spoons.
been just the spoon problem. And so I think this year I might be better placed because I already know that I have these boundaries in place, these safeguards, and I know that my partner knows about them and like we have boundaries there about what we can do.
Okay,
This might be
cool.
my year to more focus on like the joyous aspect of it.
Yay, that's nice. Yeah, it's almost like smoothing out the edges a little bit of
Yeah.
like those boundaries. Like, yes, there's still boundaries, but maybe there's a bit more space, like you say, for that joy within it and having
Mm-hmm.
to be, like you say, less defensive or like rigid about it. Like, there's still boundaries and there's
Yeah,
still a very clear line, but there's like almost like a bit of smoothness about them. I,
definitely.
I think I don't even know what my boundaries are. I think I'm still just quite chaotic and
Mm,
like a moment by moment focused
mm,
rather than like a being prepared and expectant of something or aware of my own energy or spoons, for example. So I think
mm.
this year's going to be a year for me kind of more trying to test stuff out, which I think is going to be really hard and I'm kind of like don't want to do it. So
Yeah, I
I've
getcha.
even like thinking like of I don't know, like making decisions say around like New Year um or making decisions about just like being on my own or like giving myself space or
Mm,
even like making a decision to like not open up like my work laptop over say
mm,
the Christmas week. For some reason in my mind that feels like something that's going to be difficult, but I think is something that I just need to
mm-hmm.
do. Um,
Yes.
so I think I'm going to try and set some boundaries and just be kind to myself as I try and do it. And also, like, think about what you mentioned in terms of like recognizing almost like, why am I doing something? Like, am I doing it because I have energy for it and I want to do it? Or am I doing it because I'm just feeling like I'm almost like being driven by a motor that just like won't stop and just need to
Mm.
like breathe and stretch
Yeah.
and sit
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. I think that
um,
sounds, I mean, that's a lot of effort, but I think that it will also be you'll feel better for it if that makes sense. It's like the drawer, but in a
yeah,
broader sense.
the drawer. Yes, it's the drawer. It's like at the moment my drawer's a complete mess, but if I had some nice little containers that started to separate out my stuff in the
Mm-hmm.
drawer, then I'd be like, oh yeah, look, there's a boundary there and a boundary there that I need to, draw theory. That's what we'll call
Drawer
it.
theory.
Yeah,
Drawer spoon theory.
exactly. And I have lots of little tiny compartments in my drawers, but over time they become so messy that all of the lines blur. So there you go.
Now you're making me think of all the messy ass drawers I have in my house,
I
and it's stressing me out.
It's yeah. This
Anyway,
this time of year is when I always think about my messy drawers. So I yeah, when I get back after like the holiday
I love
week,
how that's a
I'm
thing.
gonna be sorting everything out. Anyway, but no,
But you
before
have to
that
take the
though,
holiday week
boundaries
off.
and
Yes.
relaxation.
Boundaries
Yes,
and rest.
yes,
Just repeat that
yes.
mantra boundaries
I'm
and
gonna.
rest.
I'll feedback in the new year. Oh my goodness! Before we do a closey thing, did you listen
Oh,
to my
yeah.
Christmas playlist?
Yes, I really enjoyed it. Yes, I enjoyed it a lot. It will be played much more now,
Good.
like over the weekend and stuff like that. I want to listen to it again while I'm cooking over the weekend. But it was
Oh, I'm
good. It was
excited.
good tree decoration music for
Oh,
sure.
I am glad. Okay, I hope you continue to enjoy it. Thank you for your
I
review. That
shall.
sounds like a it sounds like a 4-star review.
Yeah, because there was definitely like some more British ones that I still struggled to wrap my
Oh,
head around.
really?
But like I still really enjoyed it because it was like the kind of music I like anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because we have quite
Yes.
similar tastes in music, and there were some fun ones on there.
I want you
Oh,
to, if you, oh
oh,
yeah, go
sorry.
on. Sorry, no, you go.
No, this I just remembered something. You go.
I was gonna say, if you find like the British ones that you like don't like, tell me which ones they are, because I
I'll
want to
send them
know.
to you when I'm listening to it. I'll
Okay,
WhatsApp it to you or something.
amazing. Thank you. Thank you for your
Also,
review.
guys, you're well. It wasn't a very thorough one, but now we did it at the end of the episode. We also wanted to mention for our January series, we're gonna do a version of kind of like reading Reddit stories or giving advice or whatever, like kind of am I the asshole kind of vibes. If so, we're gonna be doing that just for fun to give us a bit of a break from all this like psychosocial planning that can be quite cognitively taxing to design some of these episodes, guys. So we're just gonna have some fun in January. But if you have any kind of am I the assholes or kind of seeking advice that, for like a situation that maybe happened over the holidays or something like that, please send them in. Feel free to, DM us on like Instagram, comment, or anything like that. All of our contact details are on the link tree in the bios. So yeah, we'd love to hear from listeners as well. We've had some fun input in the past from you guys about some stuff, so want to try and get you guys more involved. So on that note, happy holidays, everyone. And we are coming to a close. Thank you so much for being with us this last year and for listening. We've probably left you with a year of more questions than answers, but as you know, that is the point of us. I'm sorry. We did love digging into the messy undercurrents of kind of sustainable holidays and how that looks. So if you have any thoughts or questions, please get in touch. If there's a topic you're interested in, let us know, please, because we know we love a good rabbit hole. If you like the episode, please don't forget to like, rate, follow, scream from the rooftops, and tell your friends. You can find all of our links in the But Why Instagram page. Please head to the bio for everything. And remember, the first step to understanding is asking, but why?